Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aries in mid-April 2020. What's going on, Aries? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. All right, Aries, welcome back to the channel. If you're a returning viewer, if you're a first-time viewer, you're also welcome here. If you are returning, you're noticing something a little different. There are no cards on this table. What up with that? What? For the quickly, there's an SNL skit called "What Up with That." Kenan Thompson is the main star of that skit, and I was actually watching it. SNL has done remote episodes the past 2 weeks, and they brought that skit back, and so that's just fun. Anyway, so what up with that? What up with that? What's up with that, Aries, is your girl has asked for some spiritual up-leveling. I continue to grow on my own spiritual journey as a reader, as an empathic person, as a damn human on planet Earth. And in asking my guides to help me with that work, they've encouraged me to do things differently with my tarot readings here for the generals out here on YouTube land for the public viewing. So what you're going to see is something that mimics a personal reading. It is still not a personal reading, as the title says, general reading. So please keep that in mind. But what you're seeing is sort of the spirit or the form that in which I do personal readings. For those who have ordered from me before, you already know this. But for those who haven't, this is what you could expect. Something like this. So it's a little more free form, a little more, in the moment. The energies haven't settled on the board as they do when I do my general overviews for the entire month. So it's just a little bit different. And that's for you, that's for me, that's for everybody involved to sort of, take a different spin on things or take a different approach to things, So that's what you can expect in this reading. Now, on to the regular spiel. Friends, I've shuffled off camera. I will shuffle live on camera to get the first initial cards out. So if you want to skip ahead, the timestamp is already down in the box if you want to do so. Also down there's the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. I'm clarifying with all signs, my good friends, that if you order a personal with me or you expressed getting a personal reading with me, at this time, I would hope most people would understand that they would have to pay for that. I've been approached a few times over the past couple of weeks, people asking for readings, but then either not paying or saying they straight up don't want to pay, or they're like alluding to, well, can you just do me a favor? And it's just like, no. This is not an essential service. This is not essential business. This is all voluntary. If you want what I offer, please be prepared to pay the price. I think the pricing is fair. I give you 3 different levels from which to choose from. And if it's not affordable at this time, then skip it or find another reader. And it's not to say, I'm not trying to say it in a rude way. I say it in a way where I'm confused. I would never go to anybody saying, hey, can you do that for me? The thing that you've offered, which comes with a price listing, but could you give it to me for free? No. I can't. So if you order from me or you wish to work with me on a personal one-on-one basis, please understand it is a service. Okay. I've also had someone, a few people actually, send money, but then they don't fulfill, like they don't tell me what they want. So if you've sent a message to me or you've sent money to me with no contact, I'm just not going to take that money. I don't feel comfortable doing so. But if you do want a reading in exchange for your cash, please let me know what you want your reading to be about. So feel free to email me at the address below if you have interest in getting a reading, or if you need to clear things up on why you sent me money. I appreciate it, but I'm also just like karmically not in the mood to take people's money without reason. It needs to be a little more clear cut for me, or clearly understood for me, to actually think that someone is giving me a donation without asking for a reading in exchange. It's very strange for me. Anyway. Anything else? Oh yeah, the Instagram link is down there as well, Aries. If you want to follow me over there, it is EmpathicFire Tarot at Instagram. The link is in the description. Pulling oracle cards on there almost every day, every other day, maybe something like that, for different flavors of what I provide as a reader. Okay. All right, enough babble. Let's do it, Aries. Let's see your messages, huh? Give me some messages, please, for Aries in mid-April. Oh, and by the way, happy belated birthday. If I missed you guys earlier this month, or you missed me, rather, because I was there. I gave you an April message. I gave you a birthday message. I read for you live on the internet. But if this is your first time catching me, Aries, happy birthday to you. I hope you guys had a great day as much as possible, considering at that time most of us were under quarantine. Now, just as I was about to start, you had the 8 of Wands pop over in my hand, or flip over in my hand, rather. Communication, fast-moving energy. possibly wanting to get out and do something quickly. I've been kind of masking that energy, but I've been feeling that since I did your meditation and since I pre-shuffled these cards, that there's a lot of pent-up energy and possibly not a lot of places for it to go. So that could be what that Eight of Wands is indicating. But let's find out for sure. Please show me messages for Aries in mid-April 2020. Messages for Aries in mid-April 2020. Please show me. Now you don't want to say anything? Come on now, Aries. Come on. Mid-April 2020. Was that a flip? Yes. This song. Any other messages for Aries, please? Additional, thank you. And the Page of Swords. Anything else? Yeah, one more. Oh, shit. That's a lot. Let's figure out what we're doing here. So what's on the ground? They say no. So they say no to the ground. So I'm just going to flip that over and put it at the bottom of the deck. Now, you had the Queen of Pentacles fall to the board. And then you had the Three of Swords over here. Like that. Ooh, are you starting with 4? Are you guys special? I don't think I've started with 4 for anybody. But we're going to do it. All right, Aries, you're special. And you guys are. You guys know that. All right, Aries. So, and they kind of want me to leave it like that. Okay. So, first card out was the Sun card, secondary major for Leo. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. Page of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Could be dealing with one of those signs or none at all. It is a general. And over here, Queen of Pentacles. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be dealing with an earth sign or not at all. And the Three of Swords. Okay. So, my friends, it feels as though there's like two minds of something, two ways to be, two ways to look at a situation, to approach a situation, and both sides have their downfall, basically. Both sides have their hangups. Both sides, whether it's two people or having two options or two minds or two perspectives on a scenario, pros and cons. Both sides have pros and cons. Let's put it that way. So side number one, the Sun and the Page of Swords. Lots of enthusiasm. Really? I'm getting a message on my my laptop there. I'm going to have to deal with that later. Okay. Both sides of a situation, yeah, have pros and cons. This first side is really enthusiastic, is really abundant and joyful and playful and optimistic with this Sun card, right? Sun card also speaks to elements of growth or prosperity or enhancing a situation, making a situation brighter, making a situation more festive, making a situation or a relationship or what have you just feel all the more warm and welcoming. That's great. That's fabulous. All of that sounds perfect. But, and I use perfect lightly, nothing in this world is perfect, okay? But paired with it, you have this Page of Swords energy where someone might be super delightful or super optimistic and positive, but they're also kind of sort of like a too big for their britches kind of energy, a little precocious, matter of fact, almost too matter of fact or too blunt sometimes, possibly dismissive or aloof sometimes. It's really an odd match in one person's energy or in one aspect of somebody's mind, one way that they view the situation. It's like incredibly optimistic with the Sun card and feeling like the best of the world is yet to come. Or this situation bodes a lot of positive and fruitful energy, but at the same time, there's a certain rigidity or a certain like like it's ego. But Page of Swords isn't known to be egotistical, but that's what this feels like. Well, okay, in combination that would make sense because Sun, okay, yeah. So there's a little bit of ego, a little, oh, cockiness is also there. Assuredness, like ego, assured, but like, how could you be so sure? You're just a page. If you're unfamiliar with tarot, we have a thing called the court cards. Page, knight, queen, king. Page is at the bottom of the ladder rung. Page is the first initial series or pathway or stepping stone in that trajectory, right? So there's still room for growth on this Page of Swords side. If it's another person, if it's you, if it's all within you, but this is one aspect of yourself, Aries, I don't know. Take your pick. Take what resonates and leave what does not, okay? I like this, but then I'm also kind of like, but come on. Like all this potential, right? Because that's the sun is an expansive energy. It shines light on whatever it touches, and it really emboldens what it touches, right? And that's kind of what I think I'm getting more than anything, this emboldened energy to have a good outlook or feel as though you could create whatever you want in this life and you can be prosperous in your life. That's great. But to match it with this page energy, an energy that's still growing, an energy that can be biting or elusive or aloof, and sometimes detached or sometimes arrogant, sometimes very just challenging. The Page of Swords is, it can be good, it can be bad, but right now I'm feeling it's kind of like meh. So this is like a mixed together, it's like a meh or meh light kind of energy, right? It's not as impressive or as stunning or as grand as it could be because you've got this massive, magnanimous energy, just this incredibly intense energy coming from the Sun card. But then you've got this Page of Swords, this inexperienced person or this inexperienced perspective, naive perhaps, or so egotistical, precocious, thinking they know best. No, it's like the sun is the bigger component, but the page is like, well, I'm just as big, or I'm just as important, or I'm just as effective. No, this energy on its own is amazing. And the complementary factor here is not really connecting. That could be what I'm sensing is like, it's sort of like, okay, that's another way to put it. It's like putting like a 20-ounce steak on a saucer plate, like on a tea saucer. Here's this huge steak, this juicy piece of meat. And apologies if you don't eat red meat, okay? But go with me. There's like a huge piece of juicy meat that, just like perfectly cooked, to whatever specifications you like. And it's served on a tea saucer. That doesn't make sense. Are you following me? Another way to put it, I'd like a glass of milk, please, or I'd like a glass of water, and you hand me a thimble. What? I asked for a glass of water. Here's a thimble. I can't drink out of that. It's not sufficient. It's not enough. The container, the package in which this is supposed to comes from this person? What? Inefficient. Not working. No. Or if not working, if it's not about not working, period, has a lot of room to grow. Has a lot of room to grow. A lot of road left to travel before you can meet the magnanimous energy of the sun. That's in one person or on one side of the situation. That's sort of a conflict or sort of a discrepancy, okay? The other side, Aries, Queen of Pentacles. A doer, an achiever, somebody climbing a ladder socially, economically, in their career, in their family, what have you, somebody who's just like an up and comer or somebody who's very on task. I think that this is one of the, I really like this depiction of the Queen of Pentacles. Especially in this deck, I think all of the queens, well, I can't really remember what the Queen of Wands or Cups looks like in this deck, but between the Queen of Pentacles and the image that I know of, as well as the Queen of Swords, those two queens for sure are super active, and I like that. This deck is showing somebody who's about their business, who's about getting things done, and is very concentrated on ascending spiritually, financially, physically, enhancing their body, enhancing their health, what have you. They just get shit done. They're active. They might be very busy, right? Male or female, doesn't matter, by the way. The fact that this is a queen, it could speak to a male. And this person is so task-oriented that they are detached from their, not reality, but they're detached in some way. You know, I mean, that makes sense. You know, if someone keeps busy, they don't have to deal with certain things. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. Even if what you're staying busy towards is something productive, is something helpful, or something that, again, progresses you, allows you to ascend. To be so dedicated to tasks, I don't know why I stuttered in the middle there, tasks. I did it a little bit too. Maybe somebody has a stutter. Anyway, to be so dedicated to getting things done, you often have to ignore or step away from or distance yourself from something else. You know, pardon me. If somebody, excuse me, if somebody spends a lot of time at work, I mean, it's sort of like a tale as old as time at this point. If somebody spends 60, 70 hours at work, what's their home life like? If they're married, or if they have kids, or if they have other responsibilities or other interests in life. They've got friends, they've got family, they've got a cat. Well, the cat has an automatic feeder, so I can, spend my 12-hour, 14-hour day at work. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? There's something about this person or this aspect of you, Aries, if we're talking about just what just exists within you, that is so dedicated and loyal, very much like this. There's such a good quality about this that the fault is hard for me to point out, but the fault is very real. If you are so dedicated to one thing, you neglect all these other things. You know what I mean? There has to be balance. You have to check in and make an effort in other areas, right? So if this is workaholism, in a lot of cultures and a lot of societies, that's very cool. We applaud that. Oh, you work really hard to get what you have in life. You've worked so hard to earn your spot in life. Great. But what do you give in exchange? You sacrifice relationships, you sacrifice connection, you sacrifice your own well-being or your hobbies or your interests in life. Some people, they work so much, they don't know how to relax. So therefore you sacrifice your own health. You ever seen somebody like that? It's the weekend and they don't know how to relax. It's vacation and they don't know how to just chill out and sunbathe on the beach, or, take in, just go sightseeing and just like enjoy the languid luxuriousness of a spa. Like, they have to constantly like, oh God, this is like giving me like a type A personality. Everything has to be planned. Everything has to have an orientation or some type of an outcome. Okay, well, if we're going to go to the Bahamas, we need to do this, that, and the other. How about I just want to go there and drink a bunch of Mai Tais or a bunch of rum and cokes and just sit down and shut up and unplug from my busy life back home? Like, why are you, you know what I mean? Like, this is that type of person. And there's nothing wrong with it. But again, I'm telling you, it's noble on the surface, but underneath it's avoiding something, or it detaches from something, or it becomes unavailable to something. And by it, I mean the energy or the person, right? Or the aspect of you. Partnered with the Queen of Pentacles is the Three of Swords. So that would make a hell of a lot of sense. If somebody is heartbroken, if somebody feels betrayed, oh, come on now. There he is, or there it is, Three of Swords. If somebody's been heartbroken, betrayed, as this card depicts, stabbed in the back by a loved one, an ex-partner, a boyfriend or girlfriend, a friend, a co-worker, it doesn't matter the form, that would make sense that this person is now negotiating with themselves how to traverse this energy, how to get over this. This feels like it could be current or from the past. I'm not going to say third-party situation. Well, I will say it for those that need it, but it's not predominantly coming through for me. It might come out later as we continue with the reading, but I feel this is more like disappointment. incredible sorrow or loss or lack, and feeling disappointed either in yourself, in a situation, in a relationship, in the context of your work, your home, your finances, your partnerships, your family relationships. It does not matter. It's a general. Please take what applies, okay? But I feel that this person is essentially climbing this ladder to get above that Three of Swords energy. Like, if you've been heartbroken, if you've been betrayed, if you feel stabbed in the back and left out in the cold, what have you, by someone who was significant to you in some form or fashion, or a situation where you thought things were going to work out in your favor and they didn't, a lot of people's reaction is to go into overdrive, is to overproduce, is to overcommit to new projects, new goals, new ideals for themselves, new paths of ascension. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not sure that this person has faced or is considering ever facing that Three of Swords energy again. It feels unhealed. It feels as though it has festered and it has lingered, and this person continues to climb that ladder for fear of falling back into that Three of Swords energy. Very interesting. I don't know what this is about. You should know by now, if it resonates, what this is about. My gosh, Aries, what is this? Oh, let's clarify some things. Let's get let's find out who these people are. Who is the Page of Swords? Who's the Page of Swords? Please show me clearly who the Page of Swords is. Who is the Page of Swords? No, that wasn't a thing. Excuse me. I had a coffee, so that like really messes with my throat and my nasal passages. Four of Swords. Who is the Page of Swords? Please show me more. Who's the Page of Swords? Resting on laurels, they say. Resting on laurels. Okay. Who's the Page of Swords? Show me more. La la la. No, thank you. And the Devil. Okay. Who's the Queen of Pentacles? Please show me. Temperance reversed. Who's the Page? Excuse me. Did I say Page of Swords again? Who's the Queen of Pentacles? Who is the Page? Oh my God, I can't even say it. Who is the Queen of Pentacles? Okay, and Ten of Pentacles reverse. I think I said Queen of Pentacles. I don't know. That's why I'm thinking this could be all within you, Aries, because this is like, this blends, but then it's also separate. It's very interesting. I've not had a reading like this for Aries, I don't think, ever. Maybe in a personal, but yeah, in a general, I don't think so. Anyway, so the Page of Pentacles, the clarification is the Four of Swords and the Devil. Pardon me. Resting on laurels is what they said while I was still shuffling. So basically somebody who's lazy. Somebody who could be definitely more active, definitely more aware of themselves and what they're doing or how they're doing it, what they say possibly to swords energies, Page of Swords, Four of Swords, how they speak, how they communicate, what they offer in a situation, or what they're willing to part with. That's very interesting, what they're willing to part with. Okay. This person is not as progressed as they should be, basically. This Sun, again, give me a glass of water. Give me a full glass of water. I'm thirsty. You hand me a thimble. You hand me a teacup. You hand me a Barbie set, a little baby doll miniature set of teacups. Stop it. I asked for a full-ass glass of water. What are you talking about? Okay? That's what this is. This person has this potential to do more, but they're closed to it. The hammering down on that coffin. They're closed to it. They're not progressing. In other ways another way you could read that is that they're resting. Another way that you could read this is that they are growing, but it's a slow process. Because the Page, again, given the path that we know of in the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King, we assume the Page is at some point going to level up and become a Knight. And that Knight will eventually become a Queen. And then that Queen will eventually become a King. That's the presumptive path of the Page, right? So we could view it that way. We could view this as a young person This could be, finally, I'm like, what is going on? Who are these two people? This could be a parent and a child. This could be the child. This could be the parent, okay? Just because of page, just because of queen, okay? So if that works for you, perfect. But, and that would speak to what I'm sensing here. At some point, you know, whether it's an adult child or an actual little child, the growth is not going to happen quickly. We all mature at a relatively slow pace, or we not even slow pace. We all mature on our own timeline, on our own clock, right? At our own pace. So this person might be slow to mature. Let's say it that way. If they're not lazy, if they're not resting on their laurels, they're just slow to mature. So you could go either way with that. Additional is the Devil card, Major Arcana for Capricorn. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but you don't have to be. It could be that this person has some type of addiction or has some type of tendencies that are subversive, undercutting. This person, like I said before, with that page energy, ego, has a lot to say, but not much to show for it. Yes, this person can be super expressive because, again, the sun magnifies, it intensifies, it glows, or it expands what it's next to. So this expansion of the Page of Swords, talking, communication, ideas. This person might have all the ideas in the world. Brilliant mind, terrible execution, perhaps. Could also have a interest in or a tendency to manipulate. Like you see the devil, he's got those strings right above the marionette band, right? So this is someone who could be a boss. Oh God, that would make sense, Aries, or not even, yeah, I guess makes sense. If you have a boss who's inept, right? Great ideas, huge, great, brilliant mind, terrible execution, kind of lazy, but actually pulls the strings because they're in control because they have a position of power. Wow, that could also be here. So this person has some stuff on their plate that I think they could be a little better at handling. They could be on their way to maturing, but the pace is possibly slow. The other aspect of the Devil card, as it's related to Capricorn, as it is related to Saturn, right? Because Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. Restriction. This person might hold themselves back. They might have, you know, some doubt of their abilities or capabilities. They might have some fears, some anxieties that hold them back. You know, they've got some stuff. Let's just say it that way. They got some stuff. You can take out of that what you need, leave the rest for someone else, okay? Now, clarifying who the Queen of Pentacles is, we got Temperance in reverse, primary major, not secondary. Primary major for Sagittarius. That's what it looks like in the upright. But again, reverse. Dropping shit to the floor. That's excellent. 1 second. All right, there she is. Pardon me. That's why I drink coffee once a week at this point. It does havoc on my throat. Anyway, Temperance in reverse. So, kind of what I was saying. This person is not healed. They're not healing actively, or their healing is not complete. Okay? Because remember, I said they're like climbing this ladder over here with the Queen of Pentacles, away from that Three of Swords, away from heartache, away from pain and distress and disappointment, right? Temperance in the reverse indicates that somebody needs to do something to make a situation more balanced, more beautiful, more serene, more healthy, or healthier rather. But they haven't, or they don't, or they won't. And I feel this temperance is a need for that. I feel that this person might have some type of temperamental imbalance. They might be leaning heavily on the side of joy and happiness, or deep, or on the other end, on the other side of the spectrum, they could be really mopey, depressed, or agitated and irritable, right? Take your pick. And that's all a coping mechanism, right? This person in some ways compensates for not healing by portraying that they are fine the way that they are, they're happy with the circumstances, or they're really upset at the circumstances. And so that acts as a motivator. This is, if they're happy and they portray happiness, it's a fake it till you make it kind of energy. I experienced misery. I experienced heartache over here with the Three of Swords. Therefore, I'm going to be happy, and that's going to heal me. And that's going to heal me. That's going to get me out of this energy of hurt and sadness, right? Or they go the opposite way. I've been so hurt and so distraught and so pained by the Three of Swords. I'm going to stay in this energy, and that therefore deflects or somehow protects me. I shut down my emotions. I shut down whatever I think or feel about that situation, and I either pretend it never existed, or I use the pain as a shield. AKA emotionally unavailable is what that person is, okay? The other aspect that clarifies the Queen of Pentacles is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Show this in the upright. This person is concerned about their money. This person is concerned about their finances and their career, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should have some type of care towards that aspect of their lives in general. But I feel that they're doing it to the extent that they pay it too much attention. Kind of like the growth here by the tips of my fingers, and even down there or up there where the bottom of the card naturally would be. Let me just show you upright so I can talk about it normally. See all that growth, that vegetation? It's almost like weeds, If you over water a plant, or if you over nurture something, if you pay it too much attention, you can cause it to sprout weeds and yeah, it's like too much. If you do too much in either direction, like I said over here, if you're too happy, if you're too sad, you're not doing it right. You're out of proportion. You're not balanced. It's fine to go to those extremes every once in a while. We all have a good day. We all have a bad day. We all have a day where, nothing can get in our way. Our smile, our disposition is just to the extreme, like to the limit of pleasantry, right? And we can also have days where everything is a mess. We hate it here. We hate this life. We hate these people. We hate this. We hate that. We're miserable, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine to do that for like a day or two or maybe a few weeks. But if you constantly stay in either position for an extended period of time, it's not truly happy. It's not truly sadness. It's fake. Or not even it's fake. It's unhealthy. Thank you. It's not a true essence of who this person is. And the focus on their finances, the focus on their home life, the focus on their career is, again, to escape, to mask, to get away from that Three of Swords. Whatever it is, whatever it was, whatever it continues to be, is really pushing this other person over here, or pushing this aspect of you, Aries. If this is still two aspects of you, that's still possible for some of you. Whatever this is like, my God. Either way you shake this, you have one side that's not acting as fiercely or as, dare I say, competently as it should. It's not really proactive. It's really kind of resting on a good thing, thinking that the sun itself, whatever the sun represents, is just going to magically change over or magically do the work for itself. It's like a set it and forget it kind of energy. No, you have to be in concert and work together with that energy. Same over here. You have to work. Yes, if you have all this joy and all this happiness and all this potential over here, you have to cultivate that. It doesn't just happen on its own. You have to work with that energy. If you have something distressing over here, something so horrible and emotionally overwhelming here, you can't ignore it and just think it goes away. There's something here about both of these people or both sides of yourself, Aries, that says, if I just ignore it, it's just going to work out. No, it's not. No, it's not. You have to work at your greatness. You have to work at your healing. If that's two people, take your message. Where are we? And I got really mad now at the end. That's kind of interesting. So I feel that this is coming to a head in some form or fashion for either both individuals or you yourself, Aries. It's kind of like, wake up and smell the coffee is what this feels like. Wake up and smell the coffee here. Both sides of this, whether it's two individuals, 15 individuals, one person, I don't care however many people are involved here. Everybody got to wake up and smell the coffee. Everybody has to wake up here and get real with themselves and understand what they're dealing with, who they're dealing with, why they're behaving the way they are, why they're not behaving the way they should, etc., etc. Okay? Let's get you an oracle card and wrap up your reading, Aries. If you can hear the tapping, it's because this is how I choose my decks by my guys. They will eventually tell me which deck is yours. Oracle message for Aries. Which deck, please? Which deck for Aries? Please show me. Okay. Kind of on the nose. And I think, yeah, I did. I don't know who I used this for, but this is the Santa Muerte tarot deck. And here we have the Santa Muerte oracle deck. So keeping it in the family. The Santa Muerte tarot, the Santa Muerte oracle. Which oracle card for Aries? Please give me an oracle message for Aries, please. And I'm going to have to read from the book. This deck is so cerebral. It's so visual. I mean, look at that. That's kind of crazy, right? So I definitely will be reading from... I mean, I've read from the book for all of them, but it's hard for me to get like my own interpretation without the book with this deck. Oracle message for Aries, please. Okay. Whoa. Let me see if they want me to take that since it fell. I could. They're saying I could. Am I going to be nice and give you two messages? We'll see. Oracle message for Aries. Okay, we'll take both. Consider yourselves special, and I did say that at the beginning, didn't I? I said you were special, Aries, and I guess I meant it. So card number 12 and card number 10. And they're short passages, so that's why I'm okay with taking both. And I have dropped everything to the floor. Are you guys as clumsy as I am right now? Things keep falling to the floor for you guys. All right, card number 10. Oh no, it's one of these crazy. These are like Aztec or Central American type of gods and goddesses. So I don't know how you say this. I'm going to try and say this. Number 10. Oh boy. Mictlantecuhtli, something like that. Mictlantecuhtli. You tell me how to say that. They don't give you any pronunciations here in this book. Anyway, the king of the dead in the afterlife, ruler of the deepest part of the underworld, along with his wife, card number 11, whatever her name is, he forms the binary and complementary opposition of disaggregation. That's so many G's. Disaggregation, I guess, of bodies and matter. We see him devouring a body, for rupture and fading out are the starting point of any successive work of creation or regeneration. He is the alchemic solve to separate, the analysis before synthesis, the phoenix that dies and turns to ashes before rebirth. The advice of the dead. It is time to look at the situation from a more in-depth point of view, to analyze the circumstances before putting the pieces back together. Okay, I like that. Analyze the circumstances before putting the pieces back together. That could be what the Page of Swords needs to do. That could be what that Four of Swords is indicating. And card, oh my God. Oh, J. My bad. That's the card that is associated with it, the artwork. Some of you were like, that's not card 10. That's card 10. And I was reading it. And so I'm going to put it over here because the message, it felt like that was for the Page of Swords. My bad. Card number 12 is the next. So this is Mitcha, whatever his name is. I'll show it to you. Mitakanchuli, whatever that is. I don't know. Card number 12, which is more the leopard guy. Oh, God. Another name that I will not be able to pronounce. Oh, my God. Tezcatlipoca, something like that. Ancient god of the night, of war, of education and temptation. Oh, he is portrayed holding a mirror with which he kills his enemies, forcing them to face their contradictions and discordance. For this reason, he is governed by the archetype of chaos, but he is also capable of sacrificing himself. In fact, he lost a leg after using it as bait to attract the monster Sipakauti, whose body was used to form the earth and human beings. The advice of the dead. Assess in a period of pause and meditation what needs to be sacrificed to leave the chaos you find yourself in. You will thus be able to obtain great advantages from this new perspective. Okay, so I was totally wrong. See, look how I have to edit your reading. So I'm going to say card 10 was for the Queen of Pentacles side, and then card 12 is more for the Page of Pentacles, or excuse me, the Page of Swords, because this whole rest and let go of what doesn't serve you, essentially, is what that was saying. I forget the word. I put the book down. But that was speaking to me of the Four of Swords and the Devil. So I think 12 goes a little bit better than 10 does, and 10 was that reevaluation or something like that. You could play it back because I'm ending the reading, so all these words are kind of leaving my mind, but that's how I'm going to say it is. 12 for the Page, number 10 for the Queen. Again, that's the Santa Muerte Oracle deck. If you want to get that for yourself and read it, deal with those names, those very complicated pronunciations. But anyway, Aries, that is your reading for mid-April. I apologize for all the confusion and the hoopla or the switching of the oracle cards, but c'est la vie. And just to note, remember, that card came first. It was face down, and then card number 10 flew to the floor. So 12, I think, if you're on this side, that might be for you. That could be why it came out first, and then this 10 would be the other person or the other aspect of yourself, okay? Anyway, nice, that's the reading. If you like it, like button is down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. Let me know if this reading resonated in the comments. If you care to share that information, that'd be very cool. Feel free to share the video and let other people know that you like my stuff here on YouTube. And if you have not subscribed, my friends, feel free to subscribe. That would be amazing. Aries, I will be back soon giving you the May messages in your mid-May, so be on the lookout for that. And if you want that personal, that's in the description box. Follow me on IG. That's down in the description box as well. Aries, I thank you so much for watching. Please take care.